Hello, everyone. Thought we'd do maybe a little crypto top 10 or top 100 cryptocurrency review here today. I threw the idea of getting some site people to help me do this, but it doesn't look like that went over very well. Probably completely miscommunicated what I was thinking of doing, so I'm just gonna wing it here. We'll see what happens. So as you can see, cryptocurrency prices by market cap. This is CoinGecko. I went and grabbed I don't know. I don't even know what this is. I guess the top 100 names here. And went and threw it on a spreadsheet, Google Sheets. It's pretty straightforward. So why don't we make it a goal? We'll throw that in there. I think anybody can see this. I don't know. Maybe it's open to the public. Maybe not. There is that spreadsheet. It says private to only me. So go ahead and click on that. I dare you. See what happens. Let's see. I guess we'll try and just make this change to anyone with the link. I don't know if that's the same. I guess you can view it, so you can't go and edit it. But what the hell? What's that say? Is this the shitcoin show? Actually, I think that's probably a better link. I don't know how. Can you get rid of that? Yeah, I guess I can. So there you go. Get rid of that. So there's that. There you go. Get even a little picture of it. Somebody was. I asked earlier today if I could get a volunteer to help me just sort of go through this list, and I had somebody actually volunteer. So I was totally stoked with them going to help me, but they haven't shown up, so I'm a little bit bummed here. But I've had a few other people that popped into the hangout with me, but I don't want to turn into some sort of circus in here. I was just kind of hoping I'd have somebody just help me actually do the legwork here. So whoever you are, you know who you are. You're not scoring points with me, sir. And anyway. So, I'm not even quite sure how best to do this, to be honest with you. But, I guess the best thing to do is just jump into the list and see what kind of damage we can do. I don't know how many names I can get through here. I guess all this stuff's kind of irrelevant. Don't really need that. Boom. What I wouldn't mind having is like a list of the symbols here to make it so much easier on me. Are there symbols here? Oh yeah, there they are. Isn't that weird? I wonder why that didn't copy. See, it's like shit like this. I hate this kind of stuff about doing this kind of bureaucratic crap. So, I don't know why that symbol didn't copy. Kind of a piss off. Like I said, I don't know how we're going to do this. I'll just sort of wing it. I had a nice gyozo dinner, so belly's full. I've had a couple beers, though, so a little bit of a pissy attitude right now. As men often are when they have a couple drinks in them. What the hell, we'll see what we can do. So, Bitcoin. Let's start off with the old Bitcoin. What do we see here? I don't know. Suppose we get a nice double bottom breakout if we can close above that level there. I think I told you guys before, we got our second M coming in here on RSI. Cute little bottom on Willie. It's not bad. It's not really the best trade location, but this is actually a really good example of the value trade. So there should be a counter trend rally away from the value high. And then if that gets rejected down the road like a bear A, B, C, D, Yeah, we should probably come back down and kiss the pock there. Yeah, we'll go something like that. Boobity boo. Maybe what I'll do is I'll build this list over, say, the next couple months. Yeah, we'll see how these develop. Maybe, you know what? Why don't we even, for this, we'll go like, we'll do the weekly charts. I'll keep it nice and simple. So, 50% rules. So we're going to do all of the fibs. So we've come down into what we would affectionately on the site call Collins Pump Chaser Zone. Right in here. Yeah, it's pretty normal. Probably going to do things like counter trend rallies back up against the old highs. It's pretty normal. And the dump chaser zone would be right there. So my hunch is boom, boom, and you can see how that's an underside tag of the original M. So my hunch is, you know, if you were a betting person, probably odds are market's sort of stuck between these two ranges. Got to get back up here, though. This is getting pretty dangerous. You know, when the weekly trend turns down, soon that moving average crosses over. Usually goes down for quite a ways. See, it did it here when it went down. And we had that March low. So, it hasn't crossed yet, but if this really is a bull, it's got to get its act together again. It's got to get back going. I don't know whether I necessarily think that that's going to happen. What I would say is we could very easily see AB, CD. Wherever this counter trend rally takes us, right, that'll sort of measure out where we're going down here. I always like to see 78.6's tag, 200 period moving average, check of the original breakout high, right in that area, top of value, that makes total sense, even that breakout high. So if that's the case, notice that that's the 200 week moving average. So really what that's saying is we're probably going to rally up into, say, 50% rules and then roll over. So that would probably be my short-term expectations. The only thing that would sort of break that is if we can come up, then back down, then up, then down, and then break up. So gotta have to have some serious constructive price action in here to hold that, to launch us higher. Yeah, you know, if I was a betting man, hold your gun to the head, I would expect this A, B, C, D to play out. So, momentum wise, ain't nothing to get excited about here. Down. Down. We warned months ago about this RSI breakdown here. Really nice and stupid. That should have been a major warning sign anyway. We have a rule at TRI, at least, you know, my teaching. And people at TRI who follow my teachings, we're not really allowed to be a buyer and when the price momentum oscillator that I like to use here, the modified Williams percentage R index, when it reaches, the moving average reaches overbought condition, especially on a weekly chart, that's a really, really bad sign. So, I think everything's just cleaning itself up here. No hurry. Slow and steady wins the race. And there's been a huge bull market, so nobody should have anything to complain about here. And I think actually what I tell people is this probably won't be a buy again until you see a W on the other side of this trend line. Kind of like, see how I did this? Rally up into that fast moving average, Collins dump chaser zone. Pull back, give me a W on the other side of this trend line, and away you go. But that's quite a ways away. There's nothing really to do there too much right now. So, there's the Bitcoin chart. Boom. Alright, next one on the block. Can't remember how that song goes. Something about Jenny. Jenny on the block. And I guess that's what price it is. So there you go. We'll go Brian's 2 cents. Current bid 0.00001. So I'm kind of lucky there is somebody actually bidding 1 sat, for my opinion. But we don't need that. Do 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 do. There. So we'll go coin price. There's rank. Stink rank. Okay, next up on the block, Aetherium. So, has anybody seen Will around? Oh, right on. Thank you, Fede. Appreciate that. Right. Yeah, I don't know whether you guys can see this or not, but what the hell. Okay, so, I mean, here's half my problem, right, is I don't even know what the hell these damn symbols are. So, Aetherium, ETH, I guess. I like to look at Stamp. I don't know what the right exchange is to actually look at these things, but Stamp's been around the longest. Alright, so looking at that weekly chart. It's not a terrible looking chart. I don't like the fact that the buyers here have completely disappeared. That's not a good sign. 1 high, 2 highs, yeah. If you get a volume bar, weekly volume bar less than this bar here, 347,000, that's actually a little bit of a sell signal. And you can actually see that the bears are trying to wake up here. So that high was 1.13. This is 943. Okay, well that's good. So it is lower. Maybe if we're lucky, everybody just goes to sleep. I suppose the problem with an asset like this is, how high is high? This reminds me a lot of Bitcoin last cycle. And I also told all of you guys repeatedly, I kept saying it over and over and over. I sure hope some of you listen to me. If we get a 61.8 retracement here, holy crap, is this a buy? And I just missed my fill. Bastards. So, there is that 61.8. Oh my god, I can't believe I missed my fucking order on Trex. Oh well, what can you do? I mean, that's textbook. Absolutely, textbook. So, like I said, actually, if this is like Bitcoin last cycle, I don't know how we're going to do this. Bitcoin last cycle, that was right here. I think this is it. Yeah. So he slammed down into mountain here, which was a check of the old breakout level. And it just never looked back. Woohoo! So is that similar now on Ethereum to what happened that last cycle? I don't know. It's tough to say. Interesting to see. I mean, what I'm worried about here for the crypto community is Wall Street does one of these down. You know, there is that 61.8, right, Mountain Man. Then we rally right back up, huge rally, maybe even a double, sell half on a double if you can. Then we come down, we do one of these. and we consolidate against that low for like the next 6 months, and everybody just sort of gets us, just sort of, you know, assumes that this is the floor. And then I actually think this is exactly what's going to happen early fall, is they're going to pull the rug out from underneath this market, and it's just going to collapse. That's what I think is going to happen this fall, but so what? It's just Brian's opinion. And then there's going to be a massive, stimulus, Fed printing, throw bazillions of dollars at the market, desperate prayer to try and, stabilize things, whatever that means. And then the Bitcoin's going to turn around and go absolutely apeshit. I guess kind of like what we saw in 2013. I actually think that this is kind of where we are right now, and actually I think this is probably a better analogy. Where this move actually came all the way down. So there's 61.8. Remember I said on Ethereum, if you can get that pullback, it's a buying opportunity of a lifetime. You can see there, here they went all the way down to 78.6. So I don't really mind anywhere in the reload zone, right? You try and reload. That's what I think's going on here with Ethereum. Which means we might have sort of AB, and if we do get that move down into 78.6, just like we said on Bitcoin there a bit ago, that would be something like that, right? So maybe we get a counter trend rally all the way back up to 3,400. That wouldn't even surprise me, because that would be a double off of that Mountain Man tag level. And then we get our ultimate capitulation dump back down into these lows. The only question is, actually we were talking about this in class today. Is this a Wyckoff check? And, how quick is this? Is this just like one of these crazy ass tails, just zing zing out of there? I think so. That's sort of my feeling. As well, too, we probably should trade back to value high here. So I don't know what that looks like. I mean, who knows where that little dump is. But I think somewhere down in this area. That's what I'd be thinking for here. What I'm a little worried about is they cleaned up the overbought condition of the market very quickly. And now what I'm kind of seeing is everybody's just sort of like, okay, that's it, the correction's over, okay, back up we go. And we're not out of the month of June yet, right? Usually this thing, actually I'd be curious to see. Let's see, last summer's probably not the best analogy, but let's see. So there's June, right? So we actually rallied into June, and then we had to pull all the way right back. Should be interesting to see, just historical comparison, how deep was this correction? So you can see there's good old Mountain Man again. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think, to be honest with you, Mountain Man's actually been traded to yet here. So I do like the idea of one more push down here into this reload zone. And the interesting thing about all this is you can see the moving averages are still very bullish. This is a weekly chart, right? You can see moving averages were still very bullish. So believe it or not, we could have like the initial dump, which is what this is, then the counter trend rally, then another dump down into this level, just like this, then the counter trend rally, and then we actually find out whether this is a bull or bear if the moving averages cross back over. So we're still so early in this whole correction. What I just would say is the market has now punished all those people that are FOMO chasers, all that kind of stuff. Pretty typical. Probably too, if you want to keep yourself out of trouble, you try and just look left, right? So when you're up here, you look left and you go, oh boy, there's a kilo, there's a kilo. So it shouldn't surprise us when they slam the market down. They just slammed it down into this little sort of bottoming zone. Last time it W'd out in earnest, eh? So, I mean, if you're a bull, ideally what you want to see is a nice, let's go like maybe boom, 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 away we go. So we're still pretty early in this, but that's what I would ideally like to see. I hate to say it, but I think you're going to get like boom, 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 like that. Whatever, something along those lines. So, no, I mean, certainly no reason to be even remotely consider buying here. Internals, Yeah, straight line down in momentum. Huge bear div in RSI. It's the first M in RSI, which means that it's not an outright sell signal. Kind of like on Bitcoin, we showed you that when it put in its first sort of M up here. And even right here, not really a sell signal, but if we break down and another M comes in here through the 50 line, uh-oh, look out. That'll basically say that this bull's over. So we haven't, like, whether it be moving averages on things like Aetherium, or, RSI M's not through the 50 line and only one M working here. I think what you just simply say is this market is ridiculously overbought. Same thing as Bitcoin on that weekly chart. Market's just overbought. Where do I do that? Here we are. Overbought. Willie stupid. The worst part about this is, look how long Willie sat stupid here. I mean, actually, I guess Willie really only got stupid right through that window right there, right? Right at the very end of the move. You could probably, anybody who's interested in that pi indicator, I bet you could probably do like the pi indicator and Willie being stupid on the weekly charts. When the two of them happen, it's pretty much a lock. So Willie nice and stupid. Our simple rule is, of course, you can't buy this. There were people who bought this. I bet you they're regretting that now. So, same thing here. RSI div just simply says, look, cool your jets. If you're a bull, so that's cool. But just cool your jets. Willie stupid. Again, more cool your jets. You really shouldn't be a buyer here. Volume, a little concerning. I'd like to see the bulls come back. Price momentum, if anything, this looks like a momentum crash. You can see how we zipped up here in the past and then literally straight down. So that looks like the same thing here, straight down. These things usually move in 4, 8s, and 12s. So my hunch is, like, if we look at this one, the high there, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Exactly top to bottom, 12 bars. So if this is the same, I don't know if it is or not, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, whoops, 8. After 8 bars, we get into July. That's when I would actually expect this to turn back up, but 9, 10, 11, 12. So according to 12 bars, we don't turn back up till the first week of August. So, be forewarned. I like that thinking. If anything, this is better than Bitcoin because at least we're back above this fast moving average. And we may actually even spit up a nice little inside bar bullish, that might even be a bull harami. 2040, 2084, 57. 2098. So no bull harami. But it is an inside bar, so that's encouraging. I don't know whether we can get back above here. And this is also good too. V-top, we should test that. What I would probably say is watch for this level up here as trade location. Candle body highs, they love trade location, and gee whiz. That just so happens to be just right around 78.6. So actually I don't mind a nice little counter trend rally right back up top there. And I'm hearing a lot of talk about DeFi. People are getting jazzed about DeFi again. So, oh boy, get ready, folks. I would ideally like to see this kind of snare. Remember, I got bids down here to buy. But this son of a bitch, if it gets ahead of steam behind it, it might just take off right back up top. So there's the double bottom trying to form. You can see 1850, 1730. So that is a new low. So one low, two lows. I like to follow a trend continuation model. And it would say, oh boy, alright, it would say you would take that range and then you just project that off of the low there. So we'll go like that, and then we will go like that. There we go. So you can even see the bot level is setting itself up here. So, and you know, this is such a great testament. Don't get into the habit of calling bull or bear markets tops or bottoms. I mean, you don't know. Anyway, man, I've worked in this business 30 years. I've never met anybody who could actually call market pivot tops and bottoms, including people that have been at this game much longer than probably some of you have even been alive. Just don't get into that business. It's such a mug's game. I don't know why people will go down that road. All I'm going to say is, look, are you a bull or are you a bear? Do you believe in the story? Don't you? That's up to you. If you're a bull, and I think you can make the argument, one low, two lows. I could justify coming in on the long side at 2,800, risking down to 1,700. Don't get me wrong, there's a bit of risk involved in this. It would basically mean losing that 4-year moving average, which I don't think is going to happen here. And your ultimate objective is up there around 6 Gs. Yeah, the cool part about trading the bot too here is if we do get that counter trend rally back up into that reload zone that I mentioned there a few minutes ago, the bot tells you to move your stop to break even if that happens. So, you know, it used to be years gone by, I used to trade at a prop firm, and I used to trade with this guy I affectionately, well, his pit name was Mountain Man, and he and I used to sit there. It used to be so funny. He would literally be short from this level right here. That level right there. And I would be long from that level. And we just sit there in the trading room going, okay, who's right, who's wrong? And what I really liked about this setup was quite often, you know, this would imply that price has rallied up into his level and now he's short. And remember, my move stop to break even levels here. So quite often what would happen to him is it would be something like that. And he didn't mind taking that kind of heat. So my move stop to scratch levels hit. So I would just say, look at it. If it comes back here, fine. I just walk away. So fucking what? And he would be short from here and say, all right, well, if it ratchets up here, I'll just walk away. And we just sit there in the lounge, in the prop firm lounge, just chatting back and forth in the day, just watching. Everybody is placing side bets as to who's going to win. And just no opinion. No, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. just in there trading your setups. So that was a pretty typical day in sort of prop land. And actually, I'm really proud that TRI's made a huge leap forward here over the past, say, 6 months or so. We've got a prop firm up and running basically in-house, being run by our level 2 instructor, Kiran. And I see basically the same thing happening again. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And it just goes to show, you know, we're not here to reinvent the wheel. I mean, all this shit's been done for like hundreds of years. We're really here just to simply teach the process. The process works. You know, you follow the process, you make money. You don't follow the process, you lose money. It's pretty simple. All right, so I gave you a little thought on Ethereum and the Bitcoin. So that's 2. I guess the question I would have is, I'm going to say, we'll say potential bot. And then we'll say if the bot does not hold, value Buy. And as I say with all of these videos, of course, I don't care whether you like or dislike my analysis. I don't care whether you buy or don't buy the idea. It makes no difference to me whatsoever. I'm just doing this right now because, frankly, I'm a lonely, middle-aged, balding, fat, white widower. Am I a widower? I think that's what I am. I love trading. I love trying to make a positive difference in this world. I absolutely hate how... Hey, where'd my spreadsheet go? Did I lose the spreadsheet? I hate how this world, it's like everybody's got to have some sort of fucking monetary motivation. Oh, there it is. I'm not here. I don't care whether you buy or sell this. If anything, consider this edutainment, right? I did say earlier today that I thought it would be kind of a fun idea to do this sort of top 100 list of ideas and what I thought of them, and then maybe we'll work away on this through the summer and have a sort of a running database for the site and for people on the site. But trying to do this from sort of a position of generosity. So I don't care whether you buy or don't buy any of these ideas. I don't care whether we sell any subscriptions or any T-shirts or novelties or party tricks. I don't really care. All I really want to do is try and make a positive difference in this world. Imagine that, eh? What a fucking nut job. All right, moving on. I don't think there's any point in analyzing something like a stable coin. It's kind of a waste of time. I'll get rid of that. I mean, and then what do you make out of Binance? I mean, theoretically, this was supposed to be a stable coin, wasn't it? So, if anything, this is such a fantastic analogy of the utter and complete corruption of this space. It's a beautiful analogy of it. My feeling here is that if someone can make a buck in this space, they're going to. So, it's fascinating to look at this. There's a big part of this crypto community that they don't give a fuck about efficacy. They don't give a fuck about decentralization. They don't give a fuck about this sort of the dream of what cryptocurrencies could represent. All they really want to do is they just want to make money, right, and buy their Lambos and their hookers and blow and all that shit. So, and don't get me wrong, everybody wants to live in a nice home. There's no getting around that. But if anything, I think this is an excellent testament that theoretically a lot of these names were supposed to start out as... I don't know how the hell this story goes. This guy's actually a really interesting character in the crypto experience. An interesting tangent that I'm sure Satoshi Nakamoto or the people that are Satoshi Nakamoto, or whatever that is, I'm sure they anticipated this sort of side effect of what's happened here. It's fascinating. I listened to a really interesting blog post or blog. What are these things called? Podcast or something? This guy. What Bitcoin did. This guy here, man, if you mention a shitcoin to this guy, man, you'll get into a fist fight. Where is he? Oh no, it's not even going to update. Boo, come on, you can see him. There he is right there in the corner, but for some reason the stupid YouTube thing won't update. Anyway, this is a great podcast. I really like these guys. So down to earth. So, very dry. But, man, very, very intelligent people. Like, just intelligence. I love sitting with like really smart people that are just fucking smarter than whips, man, and just listening to the brain power being exchanged. It's beautiful. You know, like really smart people like this. I sit here and jump up and down and bitch and complain about that Musk guy, right? But really smart people like this. Why isn't this fucking thing doing this? I hate this about this stupid interneting shit.
Revolver.
Man. I swear, it's so frustrating, this interneting. It used to be a lot of fun to use the internet. Now, it just feels like there's like layers on it and Big Brother's watching you. Ugh, it just pisses you off. Anyway, there. Finally got a picture of him. Great podcast you do, sir. Absolutely awesome what Bitcoin did. But don't talk shitcoins with this guy. Oh, just don't. So, you know, it'd be interesting to get this gentleman's, because he's so smart and he's so articulate. He would be able to describe the angst that I feel about this Binance and CZ character way better than I could. Way better. And then, of course, you know, like Musk and stuff like that. I mean, it's beautiful. I'm just going... They're just so articulate. I love how articulate these guys are. They're just like, go to hell. Just go away. Go away, you. Shoo. You're like an annoying gnat. And then, yeah, like you say on YouTube, somebody shared this in the lounge today. And I gotta say, I was darn impressed. This was like a few smart, like incredibly smart people. You know, I don't mean to be rude, Gibby, but the guy, the gentleman who you're referring to, I don't think he could carry a conversation with these people. I honestly don't think he could. He probably couldn't sit at this table for more than about 10-15 minutes. I'm not going to name names, but you know who I'm talking about. Okay, moving on. So, I don't even know whether I really want to comment on this thing. It's, what's scary about centralization of these digital currencies is it's basically doing everything that we kind of wanted to stop doing. And yet the reason why this is getting bid up is because people don't really understand what it is they're buying, and so as a result, you know, the stories, the shills, they can be highly manipulated. And I've said this publicly. It's stories like this that are actually going to give Mr. Diamond, who of course is not a fan of cryptocurrencies. You know, it's stories like this that's going to give him, it's going to give him credence when all this shit comes back down to earth. Because let's face it, when push comes to shove, nobody's going to trust a centralized cryptocurrency. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It's totally conflict of interest. And you get one wrong thing that happens here, and the whole fucking thing's going to just blow up. It's just nothing wrong has happened yet. Yeah, so look at that. See, Mr. Mo even says it there. This guy is a smart guy. He's built the largest exchange in the world. Okay. But it wasn't decentralization. How does this thing go? The word's decentralization, right? I thought that's what the word was. So, I don't even really want to get involved in this. I don't even want to analyze it because technically it's everything anti-cryptocurrency. I don't even really want to even have it on the list. I mean, if you need to use it to participate in the centralized decentralization, okay. But don't kid yourself. You're not playing the cryptocurrency game. You're playing the centralized ledger game. I don't even want to own that thing, to be honest with you. Alright? And you know, it's interesting. You guys probably see I don't have a lot of followers. Probably get lots of thumbs downs. I'm a pretty opinionated person. Sucks. I'm just going to call it the way I see it. I don't play the politics game. So as a result, a lot of times, like, I don't get invited to a lot of these marketing things and stuff like that because I'm not really that good at playing the kiss ass game, and usually I actually do really, really badly at it. So I think that CZ story with the centralization of DeFi, I think that is a terrible road for this whole cryptocurrency space to go down. But so what? Caveat emptor. Okay, ADA. I wouldn't mind looking at it. I don't like looking at it in Coinbase because there's not really that much data. But where's the best place to look at this one? I always like that stamp. And then of course, all you guys love your Binance. In fact, on the site, I don't even like looking at coins versus BNB because the whole valuation, everything is totally screwed up. All right, let's take a look at this over on Shitterex. I'm sure a lot of you love this place. I did find it fascinating about ADA that I did know somebody, and actually I went over and toured Europe through this period. And I did I actually was put up when I was in Switzerland by a guy who was just loading up to the tits in ADA. And if anything, this is an excellent analogy of venture capital. This is such a beautiful analogy. I don't know whether he was able to hold on to his ADAs, but if he was, man, he would be so wealthy right now. And really, if you believe in your cryptocurrency, what you really want to do is just step in and, I'm not really a big fan of going more than about 5% of your sort of what you got to work with in any one name. That's just, running a book of, business, that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you, if you believed in this story, you should have been paid. And I hate to say it, but I think this thing's probably going right up to new highs at some point. It looks so beautifully symmetrical. It's a work of art. It's beautiful. I remember when I first got into this space, I saw a chart. Remember that chart, okay? So keep this image in your mind. Just remember that. When I first got into this space, I tried to show somebody this way back when it first started. I think it's here. Maybe the data's gone by now. Who knows? No, there it is. And you see the same image here. It's the exact same image. So I had a big run up, then slow grinding meltdown, then middle of the pivot, then rally. So this is the same here as here. Climb the wall of worry right back up top. And I remember we did a show. I used to do a show on Coinergy. Well, not on Coinergy, with the boys at Coinergy. I sure hope they're doing well these days. And a gentleman by the name of Alex Stirk, who's sort of a principal at one of these cryptocurrencies. And I remember I published this out, and I at the exact same time I said to them, this thing's going to trade back up here. And the irony of it all is that at that time people thought, no way, man, it's like 100x. Hey, you're going to get rich, right? Lambos, hey, all that. That's nothing in comparison to what came down the pike, eh? I was there. And that is what came afterward. Holy moly. So, like I said, try and remember this image. Because you're going to see this a lot. There's sort of big run up, and then just a year or so of just death, and then another year of death, right? Just absolute destruction. And then, ironically enough, within just about a year, right back up top. Yeah, let's do it on Kraken. Let's see what it looks like there. Wow, so on Kraken, we've gone blowing through those old highs. Oh, this is maybe versus USD, that's why. We were looking at versus Bitcoin, weren't we? Yeah, let's do it on Binance. Yeah. So there's that same image. Can you see that same image? Big run up, Left side working its way down, middle, this high corresponding with that high, that low corresponding with that low, that high corresponding with that high, that low corresponding with that low. And here we go. And, you know, the irony of it all is we're probably going to push up top, and then we're going to come back, and then it's actually going to go to where it really wants to go. That's probably over the next couple of years. So, not a bad looking chart. The only problem here is, can you come in and buy this here? I think we were looking at weekly charts. So if I'm going to do a weekly chart. Well, you should all look at this and go, well, maybe I'll get my stink bids working right. Look at that. 25 here is 75% of the entire range. 75% sounds awfully close to 78.6. I love 78.6 for trade. Top of value. Check of the original breakout. Yeah, it's a nice level right in there. Can I buy it here? Nope. Pretty straightforward. We will put a big muak right there. This is going to take a while. You can see the moving averages. This will act as support in the short term. So remember we showed you those moving averages. They just crossed bullishly here. So this is going to take a while. Lunches, that comes out like that. We go something like that. This thing will come screaming up. That'll roll over if this is a bear, and maybe something like that, and down we go. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, I think probably into that July correction, you probably got to pull back into here, and then we do a bunch of this. And after that, I can't really see what's going to happen next. But I do like the idea that if you did want to buy this, you see how I was screaming up here? You could have just said, look, I'm going to wait for a check of the moving average. This thing comes screaming down. I think you still, want to try and buy on checks of the moving average here. Try not to chase. That seems awfully expensive up there. Alright, so that's 3. Maybe what we'll do is we'll do 10 every Wednesday. And that way, in by the middle of the summer, we'll have the entire 100 coins done. Good old Doge. Where's the best place to look at this, I wonder? I actually probably think the best place to look at this would be on, like, Phoenix. Probably Polo, because it has the old enough data. I mean, the problem here is, just look at that chart. It's actually the same as what I just showed you with ADA. Whoops. Key support, short-term moving average. So if you did want to buy, you got to come all the way back down here. I think I've said this to you before. Mr. Musk has so much of his ego on the line that I can't see this not working. The only problem here is this is clearly straight up. So pull back. We didn't even get into moving average support here. I don't know whether we're ready really to start exploring higher here. This is versus Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's kind of weak over the next little while, maybe this thing moves higher just because of that. I do remember, maybe we should look at this versus USD. I looked at that ADA versus Bitcoin, just because it looked like that old cup and handle. Probably should be just looking at these things versus USD. Hey, there's good old Phoenix. Let's go see what it's doing on Phoenix. Oh, looks like shit. Oh, they might not have that much data versus dollar here. That didn't do much at all. Femex? I don't even know what the hell that is. Kevin said there's some. Kevin said there's some new Chinese exchanges up and running. One of his stocks that he's interested in is a Chinese exchange. They run a Chinese exchange. All right, so versus dollar, you can see we came slamming back into the fast moving average here. So if anything, it's good. Phew. At least they took the fluff out of this market. Because I hate it when they're up here. And, you know, I don't get this world, man. I mean, maybe you guys get it. I don't. But check this out. Oh, geez. I don't know whether I can show you this or not. Maybe over here. Do 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 do. Okay, let's see if I can show you this. It's so bizarre. I don't understand it. It's like they have them like 24/7. It's like the Doge channel. And they just stand there and they don't do anything. It's so bizarre. But it's the same guys I've warned you about, like, you know, the princes of Nigeria. I think it's these guys. Oh, you mean they're off the air? Isn't that funny? Because they're like on 24/7. And Crypto had some manipulate. No, that's not it. Wonder where that one was. Anyway, I mean, I try not to remember the names of these damn things. But there is one channel here, and they just go on and on and on. Dogecoin, 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 Dogecoin. They just never end. And it just seems so bizarre. Yeah, there's Chico. Actually, I think one of you just said something positive about Chico. What did you guys just say over there? Chico had an interesting video today on Doge and Tesla's long-term connection with next year's launch of SpaceX satellite, etc. All right. Chico still believes that Musk is Satoshi, though, eh? I don't know. I listened to a few of these guys, you know, like, what did Bitcoin do? That guy? Oh, man, that would just kill him. If Musk turned out to be Satoshi. I personally don't think so. But that would be funny. All right, back to the TA. I mean, the problem here is this is straight up, straight down, right? We're looking at versus weekly, and this is over on Trex. Good old Trex, gotta love them. Is Trex officially out of this shitter in this crazy world? You don't really hear too much people about complaining about Trex anymore. It's almost like they've just sort of slid right underneath the radar. Doge probably versus, same thing. So, you know, right across the board. Number one, look at these 8s and 9s. Whenever you see the 8s and 9s, you probably should take a pause anyway. Sure enough, boom, down we go. Probably the best way to describe this is like dead cat bounce. V bottom, V top. Wicks and tails like to be eaten. My hunch, actually, believe it or not, is your trading range. Candle body highs, candle body lows. You see the fast moving average is going to act as support. So really nothing for a guy like me to do here. There just is nothing. Rocker says he sees it on Coinbase Pro. What I wouldn't be surprised is that we go through a period where last cycle it was when was Trax, when was Binance, when was KuCoin, when was Phoenix, all of those companies adding coins to their list. And as that happened, that was the fundamental driver for the big insane pumps. So if Rocker's saying that we've got a potential one of these coming up with a Coinbase Pro platform, I guess that's open to U.S. customers. Maybe that's going to bring some new buyers in. But, you know, this is the same reason why I sold up top here, is that this is ridiculous. It's too far, too fast. And now, at best, all we have is a big trading range. Probably even look to sell some more if we get up top here into this wick. And I wouldn't, if I was going to buy my Doge back, I would really like to try and get back in, like, what is that, 10 cents? Less than 10 cents. Anywhere between 8 and 16 cents. That's where I'm willing to buy my coins back. So, not really a hell of a lot for a guy like me to do down here. Not even sort of highlight. In fact, I really like this. I hate to say it, I really like this level because it's the top of value. It's the old Wyckoff check breakout high, and it's the 88.6. I mean, wow, what a cool fucking. It goes from 70, 80 cents back down to 7, 8 cents. That would be so perfect. Yeah, I don't know that Coinbase Pro. Isn't that what's open to sort of U.S. customers? I know some people were telling me that the U.S. regulators are still playing games with people about what coins they're allowed to buy and what coins they're not allowed to buy. So there might be sort of listing stuff with that revolution. Cripple! We haven't looked at Cripple in a long time. XRP. Shall we go look at it on Stamp? I haven't looked at it Cripple in forever. Wow. That's almost looking exactly like that ADA chart, eh? Same thing. I don't see any reason why we can't go up top. Did these guys ever settle up their lawsuits with SEC and all that kind of stuff? And really, what does that mean? I mean, everybody should try and figure out what is the, and frankly speaking, I think the only way to really describe it is what is the bribe amount that will buy off U.S. regulators? There must be some sort of number that you pay this dollar figure and you just get out of jail free without, go past go or whatever. Because I get the impression that that's what's going on here. Is I think to all intents and purposes this was a security and it was totally touted as a security. There's a corporation behind the whole story. I mean, it's basically, the guy running the SEC right now, he says if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, odds are it's probably a duck. And they call it the smell test. So, the easiest way to deal with that, though, is throw just an absolutely obscene amount of money at these people. And then they just go away. That's the way the American system works. It's all based on money. I mean, the irony of it all is you can get away with murder in the States. You're going to get sued, and you have to pay a whole bunch of money out of your pocket, but you could probably get away with murder. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit facetious. But so, I mean, the way I look at this thing right here is I think you're betting on how this SEC thing goes. And probably if there are enough politicians on the payroll, if there are enough, attorney generals on the payroll, if there are enough, lead prosecutors on the payroll, well, they'll just buy off who they have to buy off. And then that'll just be the end of it. Right? And then away it goes. I mean, what I would say with regard to Cripple is it has like a ton of coins out, right? Just, a staggering amount of coins. So you're not really buying value here. But, so what? The only question is, what do you do with an XRP? I'm not quite sure. From what I understand, because it's like centralized, and so as a result, there's not nearly as much sort of, what's the word you look for? Security, for lack of a better word, on transactions. They could be manipulated. I think you could forego that for the ability to move money around very quickly, really fast. Really fast, very quickly, efficiently, all that. Low cost. So, there's trade-offs both ways. I remember when I first got into this space, what's fascinating is the stories don't really change too much. When I first got into this space in 2013, 2014, the story was that Cripple was by far, hands down, far better for remittance than Bitcoin ever would be. And I think that's the same. Nothing's changed. It's just, it's a centralized coin. It's like, do you want to invest you think you're buying cryptocurrencies, you think you're buying decentral, you think you're buying your keys, your coins, and you buy something that's valued in that BNB or the BNB DeFi thing. You're just kidding yourself. If there are never any securities issues, you will never see anything like that. If there are security issues, you may lose your entire investment. Spin the wheel, take your chances. As for levels, as I started talking to you there, about moving averages, you can see how we've lost the fast moving average. We're banging into the middle one, so a little bit technically weaker than some of the other names that we've talked about. Some of the other names they're holding these moving averages. As well too, this guy does have an M top working. It's a sloppy one, and it disappears on a clothesline basis. But I guess the way I would just look at this is, it came a very, very long way. Huge rally. Probably just like digesting those gains right now. And if I wanted to be a buyer, look at that beautiful double bottom down there. 88.6, top of value. This shit doesn't change. It's all the same. 200 SMA on the weekly chart's always a good place to try and get in. So it's at about 33 cents, somewhere in that area. I like that level. Somewhere down in there. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, so what do we do? We'll do 3 more, and then we'll call it a night for our inaugural session of. Did that assistant guy that was going to help me tonight? Did he ever show up? I never did get any. Actually, I'm sitting here talking to myself, so how the hell would anybody answer that? The spooky thing is when people do answer. But no, keep quiet. Don't say anything. Where the hell's the damn? Here it is. Here. I wonder if he showed up. He probably sent me a message. Sorry, man. Can't make it. Hanging out with a couple babes. Nope, never even did get a message from him. That's too bad. Tisk. Okay, let's put that back over here. Actually, you know what? Why don't we call this a... I can't do that. Yeah, well, I got to take a potty break, so I'll be back in a couple minutes. Well, I'll be back. So by the time we're done this adventure, by the end of the summer, we'll be through all of these coins. Should be a fun trip. Okay, polka dot. What the hell is a polka dot? I don't have the symbol here. I don't know where you guys got the symbols. You guys are so smart. Here is the list with the tickers. I need access. It's so funny. So, Fede, I requested access. Thanks for doing the public stream again, Brian. Your rants are great. Thanks, man. Dead air. Don't you love that, considering Flabos? I wonder how Google deals with sound. Not funny. Oh, that one's for you, Jojo. That one's for you. All right, let's get back to work. Polka dot. What's the symbol? DOT. Thank you, Rachel. Dead air. I think that's what they used to call me. All right, so where should we look at this? First BTC. Let's do Kraken. See what it looks like. Oh, jeez. These are all these fun little DeFi names, eh? Like, don't these guys run a DeFi network? They're pretty high up in comparison with things like Uniswap, right? You can see the ticker at the end of the name. Yeah? Where's that? Here? Oh, that's what that is. Oh, what a knucklehead. You're right. Oh, you're so smart, JP. All right, so $26.02, $26.07. Hey, wow, it's a rip-roaring rally. We got any more data, or is that just what we got to work with? This was off of Kraken. Tethers. Did make a new high here recently. You know, just be forewarned when you see this. They often call this like the 3 drives pattern. John Bollinger, he often made reference to this. That he sees these, the third push, and then usually prices collapse following that. So there's a guy on the site that might call this like a megaphone pattern. Boom, 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 boom kind of idea. I don't know, that's a tough one. Probably open to interpretation. I don't know how you do that. Maybe something along those lines. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Not really. What do you say about this? There's not much data here, so it's very difficult to really come up with a grand conclusion. $26 though, being the number 8 cryptocurrency, there must be a bazillion, gazillion, jazillion of these things out then, eh? I wonder if anybody's even doing any analysis of what the effect of so many coins outstanding are. Can't be good. So I know in the stock market, usually what happens is at the bottom of cycles, stocks are rolled back, consolidated. Then they go through the issuing process and through the new bull market. Now everybody's getting rich, and prices go up, and then tons and tons and tons of stock out, more stock and more stock and more stock. And it gets to the point where there's ridiculous amounts of shares out, billions of shares, whatever, and then the market breaks, and then we go through the whole damn cleanup process. So I don't know what it looks like in cryptocurrencies. I hope it doesn't look as bad as stock land, but I have been seeing that, especially like these stable coins and DeFi kind of coins. Oh my goodness, the number of coins out is just insane. Technically speaking, big dump. My hunch is that was probably into reload zones. For those people that are adept, yeah, you can see there's Mountain Man. Didn't quite hit 78.6. Nice inside bar just fired here. No doji or no harami, but it was inside bar. And good to see at least it's trying to recapture moving averages here, but it's got some work to do to recapture this fast moving average. To me, the way I would describe this is it's caught in a moving average sandwich now. And it's probably going to go like that. Bottom end of the range, candle body lows. Top end of the range, candle body highs. Have some fun. Not really doing anything too dramatic. So, big hurry up and do nothing there, that's for sure. And not really in a very good trade location to do anything now. Why is this whole column like this? This would be kind of cool to see if I can actually pull this off. Get all the way through to the end of the list. I doubt it, but we'll try. I think we'll get rid of the stable coins. I don't really want to use that. Uniswap! Hey, so this is sort of the... It basically isn't DOT and Uniswap in the same business. And, you know, this is an interesting question I've had with the community here at TRI. What is the difference between DeFi and us doing like ADA staking of coins and master nodes? What am I missing here? Isn't this the same thing? I must be missing something about this. But I've asked a bunch of people, you know, what is it about the staking this go round that's made it so special? I don't quite understand. If I understand it correctly, and you know, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, comment on the YouTube page if you want. Yeah, but that's what the way it was before, Cole. Like, I remember I set up a secret whole damn thing on Waves last cycle with like the 15 phrase catchphrase thing they had to remember, and I forgot it. I think I have 20 or 30 Bitcoin sitting on the Waves network, and I'll never remember that 15 word phrase, so it's lost. So I'm not quite sure what the difference between this go round on this stuff and what it was last time. I don't quite understand what the big deal is, what's the difference is. I think the only real difference, if I understand correctly, is that these user platforms are like kind of like idiot proof. They've really dumbed them down. Other than that, I don't think there's a heck of a lot of difference. So anyway, go figure. So technically speaking, this is almost exactly the same story as the Polkadot. It's almost identical. V-top, original bottom. You know, you should look at a chart like this and you should say, maybe I've missed this trade, right? Maybe I've missed it. But can I learn from this experience? You know, O'Neill there. Cole, you're part of the site, aren't you? Considering Fleabas. D-Born, I think you're part of the site, aren't you? Can you learn about this as a trade setup? That you're going to wait for something like this to happen, then the market to come back down, then for it to start W. And then, you know, what do you think the odds are that was on a big volume spike or something? Yeah, you can see it. Look at that beautiful W and OBV. Oh, perfect. I mean, this is why you're watching this channel here. You have to learn that this is what you need to see to justify you risking your hard-earned money. It's just that simple. Raphael McEnroe. It's funny, actually. I used to play tennis with a guy named Pete Sampras. You might have heard of him before. We used to sit and joke about McEnroe. Man, he was so funny watching him at tournaments. That was hilarious. A million years ago. And remember James Scott Connors? James Scott Connors with the what was the hell the racket that he used to have? He used to play with the T2000. What the hell was the name of that damn racket? You ever played with one of those damn rackets? I used to play with one. Man, they are impossible to play with. I think it was called the T2000. Anyway, McEnroe was so funny. We used to, he used to go to tournaments, and he would sit there and argue with the judges like to all in. It was so funny. Oh man, that was a million years ago. Oh well. So pretty normal dead cat bounce off of reload zones. Pretty typical. What's interesting is you can see where value is here, but the question is, who buys these things? I don't understand how this works. Kevin and I, whenever we started talk about DeFi and stuff, yeah, temper, yeah. Whenever we used to talk about DeFi, we'd always go, or at least Kevin would. I live vicariously through Kevin, so. But he goes, oh man, I wish I'd spend some more time learning about this damn space, trying to figure it out. We used to have a guy on the site, I'm not quite sure what happened to him. He would be like, one day he'd be Farmer Dave, and the next day he'd be Astronaut Dave, and then, DeFi went crazy there, and we called him Intergalactic Dave for a while. I suppose maybe Dave, things have calmed down a little bit for him because it was getting absolutely insane there for a while. So, if I wanted to buy this thing, although I don't know whether I really would want to buy this thing because it's used in other things, I don't quite even understand how the mechanics of this work. But point here is probably something like AB. CD. I like the idea of maybe a nice really visit right down into value here, maybe even 88.6 down in there, which actually means that we could very realistically see a rally right back up top there and then back down. That could very easily happen. Might even just be like a couple bars. Boom, 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 boom. So, moving average sandwich right now. Same thing as I said with the other one. It's caught in a moving average range. If it can break out through the top, then that's an inside bar reversal, and it probably means we're jumping back up into kendo body highs here. Great trade location. We could probably even do like reload zones going the other direction. See that? Right in there, 78.6. Almost exactly the opposite of this. So, I guess the way I would look at something like this is there is your shorting window up there. I kind of like this 78.6 to 88.6 for trade location lately. I've been using this more as sort of a range versus a reload zone. Sure like that kind of thinking these days. Mountain Man gets respected like this. You can see. Clearly important. But, so I like to call that the reload zone. Right? I think that's pertinent. But for trades, I'm really liking. I often find that markets will come screaming past 78.6, then come back and put in a bottom right through 78.6. You look back like months later and you go, son of a bitch, if I just bought 78.6, it would have been the W. Can't tell you how many times I've seen that happen in my career. Well, I can tell you, but it would take me a little while. And then I'd have to kill you. What's the point in that? No? Oh well. Kind of a fun joke. Alright. Well, actually, I'll go with that. No, I'll with that. Okay. Well, that was weird. What happened there? Oh. Come on, look at that, eh? Just won't select it. Look at that. Okay, I think I'm probably just about done this video. I hate doing this shit on my own because it feels like you're just talking to yourself, which I probably am. So, we will put that in here. And that's 10. So why don't we leave it at that? This is a fun little experiment. And I think what I'll do is next week, oh, there's the message from this guy. So he gave me his reason why he didn't want to bother coming here today, so that's cool. So I think we'll probably just leave it at that for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll try and do another one next Wednesday. Might be a fun little sort of regular thing we'll do. And hey, Keith Jersey, I haven't seen that name in a while. Yeah. Is that the old Keith Jersey I remember from years ago? Anyway, be nice to know that some of the people from last cycle made it. So we'll leave this open. We'll just work away on this. Let's see through the summer. Maybe if I have an assistant, I'll poll the site to see whether I can get an assistant who can just help me talk me through this stuff, so I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself here. Okay, I think I'll leave it at that. I hope you guys got some value out of that. We'll try again next week. All the best.